It is Genesis again, and I really wanted to do a tarot reading for the first 2 weeks of October. And this is just tailored to anybody who pays attention to my stuff, who's been watching my readings, who's been watching the Bible breakdowns and morning words and what have you. Or whoever just whoever feels called to watch it this morning. But I'm using the Mother Piece deck, which I love. It's like round, it's circular. And I think this might even be a mini deck, but I love round tarot decks very much. All right. And I'll be honest, I am doing an ancestral message, and I didn't want to do it yesterday, and that's probably why I didn't, but I was called to just do a collective ancestral message. So this is for the people of the diaspora, actually, not just anyone following me. If it resonates, of course, take what resonates, but this is specifically for my people of diaspora. And I'm feeling especially from the South with this. So if you got ancestors from down south, which a lot of us or most of us do, of course. Okay, what is it that we need? What is it that we need for this first 2 weeks of October for our health, safety, and success? Let me speak clearly, concisely, with one voice. Oh, okay. Okay. Ingenuity is going to be very important right now. Again, this is an ancestral message specifically. This is focus of the people of the diaspora. So, listen here. That 10 of Wands is on the bottom. That's our foundational card. Normally, I would do that at the end, but I really want to start just making sure there's a note of that. There's unity right there. In the book for this card, in the book for this card, normally, it's saying, God damn, they just keep falling. I got them on my lap. In the book for this card, the 10 of Wands, it's talking about, like, they're using their sexual creative power, they're using their creative force to bring something to fruition and to release it, kind of like, all right, we've done this work. The feeling that I get here, though, is really to be bringing all pieces of self to the table. So if you know somebody in your group is a priest of something, and you know another person in your group really knows how to work their, like, herbs, and another person in your group really talks to spirits well, y'all need to make a group together. Get a group together. This goes for all over, like, this country, but I know I'm in Michigan. I don't got nobody down south why this is coming up so strong, but Mississippi is very much coming to mind, so it might even be a particular person in Mississippi. Please get your group together. I see at least 3 people, mostly feminine, like strong feminine energy or women, but get your group together. That 10 of Wands, all of my people, be working with all of your information and work with your, like, that feels like living people, that doesn't feel like dead. So that's just the foundational card to start, oddly enough, but that collective work needs to be happening. Even if there's a way we all be opening up, like, collective channels to one another, that really needs to be happening right now. The card that came out on top is the 8 of Swords. I'm sorry, it's kind of blurry. The 8 of Swords. So what we see is a person here stabbing this wall with swords, and the 2 crows on top watching her, but it's an 8. So that is a portal number, but it's also suggesting the futility of the situation of her stabbing this wall. Why do you keep stabbing this wall? It's not going to work. You're running into a brick wall. You need to use your mind. Utilize these crows. Do you have people that can be watching for you? Do you have spirits that can be watching for you? I'm thinking that you do. Utilize your spirits. Utilize your juju. Utilize your craft. Please, 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 I could not say that anymore. These first 2 weeks of October, and it doesn't mean that I think or that I'm feeling like horrible things are coming up, but move according to the information that you are receiving, and make sure you are receiving as much information as you can be. That doesn't mean overload yourself. It doesn't mean check 900 readers, but it does mean be at the altar praying, be talking to your ancestors and praying, okay? Be in that space of meditation. Pay attention to the most factual news that you can find. Don't overwhelm yourself again, but pay attention. Crows are magic, right? Do not run yourself into a brick wall doing something futile. Please do not. This is a time of change. This is a time of change. I do feel like if you have swords showing up in your life, conflicts in relationships, things like that, if you have past stuff coming up to repeat itself as an opportunity to take it differently this time, then do so. Do something different. Put the swords down and breathe for a second. There might be a way to climb over that wall. Okay, so that was really the first card. The second card was the Fool, and it came out sideways, kind of facing the figure's legs, facing that way. So, because this Fool has somebody doing a handstand, so it came out. There we go. Like that. Okay. I don't know why I keep doing that because it's still blurry, but that Fool came out sideways. And in this case, it's like the mushrooms are kind of facing his head, but all the animals are to the other side. I really feel like, again, here, instead of being so carefree, be carefree, but also be connected. The Fool is carefree, and they don't usually know where they're going. They're just going. But in this case, the Fool needs to be a little more mindful about where they're going. There is gonna be a lot of shifting coming up. The mushrooms pictured in this card are Amanita muscaria, that red mushroom with a white cap. At least that's how it's usually drawn. Like, one of the different types of psilocybin mushrooms. So to me that says there's plant community available, plant communication available, but also like they'll be moving into realms of new understanding. When the card is angled this way, the Fool is almost reaching toward the water and toward the mushrooms. So be reaching towards spirit. It is reaching towards you. Of course, the veil is thinning, especially right now as we head towards Halloween, as we've had these full moons. And I think there's a Libra new moon. I think it's a Libra new moon in the middle of October. The other thing to pay attention to here is that the mountain peak is towards the feet of the Fool, and to the side, and that the Fool's bag that has an eye on it is to the side. It's almost like the Fool's head is really in the middle of this card. Really, it's almost like this card itself is turned upside down. Have the faith of the Fool, but be more mindful. Really, truly utilize your spirit guides that are with you. Like, listen to animal communication. Listen very strongly to animal communication, actually. Like, what I'm getting from this is pay attention to plant and animal matter. If you feel gifts waking up in that direction, please pay attention to them. Somebody is going to need to hear it, like, out of your mouth the way you speak it. The final card that came on the bottom was the Two of Discs, and it is reversed. So normally when this card is right side up, we see that it's a woman nursing two babies at one time, and she's surrounded by a two-headed snake that's passing through two wheels. Behind her, there are 4 cedar trees and a waxing crescent moon. When I see this card, I'm really feeling that there's a lot of abundance coming, but the way to get it is not the way you think, okay? Things are kind of flipped right now. It literally feels like things are flipped. If you are accustomed to doing things in a particularly earthy manner, if you are accustomed to doing things in a particularly external manner, then flip that around. Flip that around. Listen to the changes coming with that snake. I'm thinking about when Juju Bay did the mini-sode about why mosquitoes buzz. And one of the stories at the end was her retelling Zora Neale Hurston's story about how the snake got its poison and how it got its rattles, right? I'm looking at this snake. Pay attention. Listen to that snake. Pay attention. Get grounded. How did things come to be? How did they become how they are now? Pay attention to that and get grounded, okay? To me, those cedar trees do represent wealth, but they also represent protection. That crescent moon waxing represents wealth, but I think it's also asking you to look at the underside. Your wealth is not just in money. Your wealth is not just in appearance. Your wealth is not in degrees or acquisitions. And not that a degree is not wealth, because knowledge is power, 100%. But where that comes from is from within. Where does power come from? Where does knowledge come from? Where does love come from? Where does everything come from? From within, the same way as all around. He, she, it, they, them, cosmic goo, cosmic serpent spirit is all around. New things are coming into play, and it's important to get balanced. New things are coming into play, and it's important to get balanced. This card being upside down does not, to me, feel like whoever or the group that this is for, it doesn't make me feel like y'all are not listening or not balancing, but like where you're listening is not exactly in the right space. Listen to Goddess. Listen to your ancestors. When this card is flipped over, she's literally wrapped in a snake, but to me, under the ground. Listen to the earth. Get connected to the earth. Get connected to Gaia. Get connected to the, you know what I mean? Like, if whoever your people are, whoever your spirits are, if you know that you're supposed to be learning about Ifa or learning about, you know what I mean? Like Lukumi or Santeria, or learning about something, then you need to start respectfully studying it. Again, people of color, this reading is not for white folks. I'm sorry. Y'all got other stuff to learn about. But please be getting in touch with your ancestors. Please stop doing futile physical actions. Pay attention to being craftier. Pay attention to being craftier. Okay? Watch out. When the fool is sideways like this, he can't see the alligator that's trying to get him. Lean in to understanding and lean into intuition. That bottom card had been, again, the Ten of Wands. Get in community. Really get in community and bring your ideals together and bring your ideas together. The final message is the crone on the bottom and the Hierophant, the hanged one on top. Oh, yeah. Okay, final message. The crone on the bottom and the hanged one, but reversed on top. Spend some time on your own. This hanged one being reversed, in the illustration rather, it's a full moon, and the figure is a woman hanging off of a branch by a snake. Her ankle is wrapped in the snake, and she's reaching her head and arms into the water. But in this case, it's reversed. So it's somebody out here who, again, is not listening. Listen, literally, put your hands in some water. Put your feet in some water. Invite spirit to you. You need to release some things for what you're asking for to come through. You need to release some things for this information to come through. And that crone on the bottom I really love also. It has like a star goddess flying over the mountaintops. The crone is looking, and there's a figure on top of this post marking the crossroads. So as the goddess is kind of deciding which way to go, there's that light shining above her. Or the crone, as she's deciding which way to go, there's that light shining above her. This is a time of exploration for self. Your discernment is key. Your personal discernment is key right now. Okay? I love it when I end it, strength is the card. Oh my god. Okay, finally, for real, last one. Strength. I love this. This is one of my favorite illustrations of strength. It's another feminine figure, like a goddess sitting there, and it's another full moon behind her. She has all her different little animal friends, snakes and cranes and rabbits and scorpions. There's a tree back there. This is the epitome of working with your feminine energy. to grow and to persevere. This is, like, if you've ever watched what's his name, Alejandro Jodorowsky, his tarot videos, when he talks about strength, he talks about sexuality conquering like savagery, because the deck he uses has a lion with an open mouth, and strength has her hand calming him, and it's at about waist level, reproductive level. In this case, we see her naked, comfortable with herself, comfortable with her power, with her body, with her reproductive energy, with her creation energy. And so this is sitting in power. When you take that time to release, when you take that time to have your crone moment, you begin to stand in your power. So that is it, and I will save this. But thank you for hanging out, and thanks for letting me do this morning, and that's it. I love you guys.